Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here with my Flosstube update number 340. Today is Saturday, June 29th, which means it's almost July. And today I've got lots of stuff, things I've stitched this week, and my upcoming July plans. Excuse me. While I take a fortifying sip of Diet Coke. So, I just feel discombobulated. I have a whole pile of stuff over here. So, last week I had a few more days to go on my Reindeer, my Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series, Reindeer. And I worked on that, and I had finished, I showed you I finished for June cross-stitch camp. And then I had my secondary chart that I was working on for one of my WIPGO calls was spring Hare etching, and that was the one that I had made a mistake on, and I was concerned about how it would affect the rest of the stitching, but it worked out very nicely, and I was able to finish that and finish another one, the winter cardinal etching, which I did last February. I started last February and I was able to finish it. So I'm going to start with those finishes. Excuse me 1 minute. There you go. So I first finished spring Hare etching. And so you can see right here, I went ahead and kept it the same in relation to the little framing stitching around here. This was correct. This is where I started, when I started this project, I started with this little border thing here. So this was correct, and the part of the ear was correct, except like right there. That line is, I think, should have only been one or something. The mistake was in here somewhere. So again, I had done like the whole rabbit up to like here before I went up here and figured out the mistake. And I was not gonna change that. So the only thing that it affected, I did add one stitch down here to this little border line so that the rabbit still looks the same. So I basically moved it over, and I think this is different. But so the only place you can really see it is, I decided not to move the flower because of how it fits together with this zigzaggy little stem that it has. So like theoretically this should have two spaces instead of one space between the flower and the rabbit. And there should be like two spaces here. So but it doesn't make any difference really. The only place, like I said, that it really, you can really tell it, is that this pink stitch is right next to the brown stitch of his foot. But this is all correct, and everything else worked. And when you first glance at it, you really can't tell that there's anything wrong with it. So I'm happy with the way it turned out. This is 32 count Murano Carré that Hobby Lobby used to carry in the colorway Fleur. I like those little flower things on there. So that's that one. And these are by Cecilia Turner of Heart and Hand. So there's her original one. These were in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine in 2020, I think. So this is in the spring 2020 issue, and I'm assuming these patterns are available to buy now, because these were in 2020 and this is 2024. So I'm assuming they're available on the market now. And in February, then, I did the winter cardinal etching. One that was in that magazine, the winter magazine. And this is how it turned out. So when I worked on it in February, I did the cardinal and like about this much of the trees. I think I had done partway down this tree here and these three, but I had not done all of the ones over here and not all of the ones down on the bottom. So after I did the 7 days on my reindeer, and I finished spring Hare etching, and then I thought, as long as I'm doing it, I work on this one too. So this is winter cardinal etching, and this is also on 32 count Murano Carré in the colorway Ice, and I think Hobby Lobby still has this, or this is the one color that they did continue to carry. I don't know if they still have it, but it was there. Anyway, so the other two ones I did, of course, the summer catch etching, which was the 3 fish that I did for my father, and the autumn owl etching that I did for my sister-in-law. So, and those two I did for myself. So those were the secondary charts in February and June. But in June, the main chart for WIPGO for the number 25 slot was the reindeer. So I did a little bit more. I finished all the, of course, I think I had done most or all of the antlers part in brown last week. But then I the lighter brown color here, and so I did a little bit around this face, and I think I had done this part, or most of it, and so I was working with this brown color. There's more of this bright leaf, down here. There's a lot of it to go. But and I still have a thread on there that's not. I want to finish it, So I was working down around this area here. It looks a little more orangey in this picture, but it's actually a lighter brown color. And so I did some on the legs here. The cabin I finished, and the one tree. These are done, and so yeah, these are the legs. I did some of the lighter color on the legs. But so that was the reindeer. That was my number 25 WIPGO call, and the number I want to go ahead and talk about for July. The WIPGO numbers are 6 and 23. And so the 23rd WIPGO call is Little Brown Bat, which is on this same piece of fabric. And I didn't iron it, so it's kind of wadded up like a piece of gum, where I've been squishing it in my hand. But so this is the Little Brown Bat, and last time I worked on it, I did the bat's, one of the part of his wing, sort of bony part of the wing. And so it doesn't really look like much, but it goes right in here. This is the edges of the design. This is the little border that I made. So I might extend this a little bit so that it's, you can really kind of see the separation of the two sections. I did a little bit on this one, on the reindeer. I did this sideways one, side part of it, so you could differentiate between, this is the beaver and this is the reindeer. So this is October, number 10, number 11, number 12, right? So, so I think the beaver was called earlier this year. Yeah, in February, I worked on the beaver. So in July, I'm going to work on the bat. And hopefully I'll get more done so that you can see it better. And this is the little brown bat. So you can see I did just this lighter brown color of the wing and part of his body here. So yeah, there's a lot to go there. These little hooky bony hands there, claws, I guess. Very autumnal colors. Yeah, so that's my upcoming WIPGO goal for July. The little brown bat. And these are, again, by Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods series. This is number 10, Little Brown Bat. Vinniey P.S. Tan is the designer for that series, for that company, for Cottage Garden Samplings. So, the other WIPGO call, number 6, is Aprile Dolce Dormir by Madame Chantilly. I have it right here somewhere. Yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah, okay. Getting myself, I thought I was organized, but I guess I'm not. I meant to say my secondary chart for Little Brown Bat. The secondary chart is this little freebie by Little House Needleworks called 7 Pines. And I don't know if this was on their website or where I got it. But it was a little complimentary design from Little House Needleworks from 2013. So this may have been on their website. I don't know. Yeah, so I got this little design. It's very charming. A little 7 pine trees and a little snowman. And it had the, like I said, the DMC like color descriptions, but not the numbers. So I had to go look them up. And I did decide, it has ecru for the snowman and the snow, all the snow. And I didn't want to do that. I like the B5200, the brightness of the white. So I switched that out. But I had to go find all the DMC colors. So that's 7 Pines, and I decided to do it on this. This is 46 count linen in oat. This is oat Bristol linen. This is Artiste. This is the Hobby Lobby brand, and so it's this. It's just kind of a beigey neutral thing in 40. This is 46 count. I had considered. I was talking to my sisters. I was considering like a green fabric, but we were wondering if the green of the trees would pop enough on that. This one I'm a little concerned about the white, but I think the B5200 is bright enough that it'll show up on there pretty well. So anyway, so that's my secondary chart for the Little Brown Bat. So so let me get back to the April Dolce Dormir, Sweet April Sleep, I guess, by Madame Chantilly. So there's the mother and father bunny and their little baby bunny, and he's sleeping on a big carrot in a wheelbarrow. And the chart also comes with a chart for this little pillow thing of the bunny sleeping on the carrot. For my WIPGO purposes, started on this big one. I started on it, I think, last year. I started a bunch of things, and goes like this. I started in the corner here. This is my corner marker. So all I did was just, you know, I worked on some of this dark greens. Sorry, there's a cat hair on there. So, still there. Anyway, so I just got, you know, a minimal start on it last year, I guess. And this is even weave. This that I dyed myself. This yellow springy color. So I think all the colors will show up well on that. There's a lot of white, but the white is, I think, will show up pretty well on there. Yeah. So this is going to be 2/2 on 28 count. Yeah. So that is my number 6 main WIPGO pull, and the other one is a rabbit chart that by golly, what, I can't say her name now. Ink Circles. Yeah, Tracy Horner. So I wanted to originally, I had thought about working on June on the rabbits, working on one every month or whatever. I don't, when they're on my WIPGO chart, I don't have a specific month assigned to them. It just says rabbit, and so I can choose whichever one I want. So in May, I had rabbit May on there, and I worked on the August one. In March, I worked on August. But so all the other ones, I have June, July, August, September, October, November, December. They're all not done yet. And so on my WIPGO, I worked on December and I worked on August. I did not finish them yet. May I finished, and April I finished. So I wanted to work on June, July, etc. But this month I didn't, because I had cross stitch camp and everything else. So this is the June chart. And I have it about, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of the way done, because I think I have 3 or 4 of the rabbits done already. 4. Yeah, so about half of the rabbits. Is this right? Yeah. So these 4 rabbits I had done, and then I had most of this center motif thing done. So I've been working on this rabbit today, and if I continue to work on it today, I may be able to go ahead and finish this rabbit. If I could do the rabbits, that would go a long way, because all this other stuff, like around here and here, these are all filled in, like, with like that each rabbit has like a flower on it, green for the part of the flower, and then this, a lot of, and then all of their tails. I haven't done their tails yet, but it's like a lot of this is done, the center, but not all of it. There's a little bit more there. And their eyes are all, I think this color. No, it's another color in there. Yeah. But yeah, so their eyes, it's a single stitch here and there, in each one. But so like the whole upper half here is partly done. But yeah, so it's still a long way to go. And this is the June chart. So, like I said, I may work on it a little more, because June isn't quite over yet. But also sharing the fabric with this. This is a 32 count Murano Carré again, and I think this is also ice. But so I also worked on the September one. Yeah, September is on this same fabric, and it uses a lot of the same colors, it looks like. they're all Gloriana silks, and there's about a dozen, 13 colors that they all draw from. So they're not all identical, but they're similar. And like if there's brown bunnies, they're in this. A lot of them are in this coffee bean color, and so for June and September, that coffee bean is the brown here, and these bunnies. So this is September. This is June. This way, June. So yeah, the September one is further along than the June one. Excuse me. The 4 bunnies are done. But there's more the flowers and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so so maybe I could work on June and September next month. We'll see. And then for a cross-stitch camp, the challenge for the month of July is to take a regular multicolored, chart and to change out at least 2 of the colors. So I settled on this chart, Carrots Away, and this is also from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This is from the 2024 spring issue. And there's a bunny flying an airplane, dropping carrots. And there's clouds in the sky. And so this chart is by Whitley Quimby of Sugar Maple Designs. And the threads that it calls for are Southern fried floss is the name of the type of threads used. There is a DMC conversion available, but what I decided to do was, and you can see all my scribbly notes over here, I decided to well, at first I thought, well, okay, I don't have Southern fried floss, but I do have a lot of fancy floss, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks, right? So I was going by 123 Stitch has some conversion charts on there, listing DMC and an alternative, so you could match it up and look for under Weeks or Gast or Classic Colorworks. So I started off doing that, and then I decided because like some of them I did not have the equivalent Classic Colorworks. Like one is Blue Azul was one of the colors, and I don't have it, and there were actually no matching colors in the Weeks Dye Works or Gast lines. So I obviously don't have that, and I didn't want to, buy anything that I didn't already have. So I went through and chose mostly Gentle Arts colors, and I just changed them out to something else, which of course meets my cross stitch camp rules, whatever, right? So what I did was, so these are all I used on the chart. It calls for a DMC orange, this darker orange, I guess, and then there calls for a lighter one called dried carrots, I think, is the lighter color. I don't know. So But so I got two other colors that I felt worked a little better. So these two colors, excuse me, 1 second. I have a big wad of colors here. And I didn't mean to do this way. Okay, so these are the two orange colors. This is the lighter orange, and this is the dark one. So this is Pumpkin Harvest, and this is Pumpkin. Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works. So I think, because one of the things that my sister and I were talking about, my sister Eve was talking about in the picture, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's supposed to be a little bit of contrast between the carrot plane that the bunny is flying. You can see there's some stripes of color here, and it's a little hard to tell that they're actually two different colors. When I first saw it, just at first glance, I thought it was just a variegated orange, and then that's why you got the dark stripes. But the dark stripes are actually a different color. And then here, these carrots are variegated. They're not, they don't have a contrasting color to them, right? So I went ahead and picked these two colors because this will be the body of the plane and the carrots, I guess. And then this is that stripy color, so it's a little bit darker. You can see it a little better. We'll see. Maybe I'll do the other way around, I don't know. And then, so the other thing I did was that in the bunny, it looks a little tannish. I think on the chart, the color is primarily where is it? Like a tan. The color is called caramel for the Southern Fried Wasp, but the DMC equivalent is a tan color. And a little conversion chart that I was looking at, it's either Weeks Dye Works straw or a Needleart's brandy. And so I have the brandy color, and I probably have straw too somewhere, but it was a little bit on the lighter side, and I wanted a browner bunny. So I chose apple cider, a little bit browner bunny. And then he has pinky ears, and it looks very white in this photograph. He has a little pink cheek and a pink nose and the pink on the inside of his ears. And the Southern Fried Floss color, if I can find it, is yeah, it's called Blushed in their thing, and the DMC equivalent was Dusty Rose. But so I decided to yeah, because I didn't have the Weeks Dye Works Sophie's Pink, I did not have, but I chose this instead. It's only a few stitches, but I like this little pinkier color. And then for the little scarf thing that the bunny has, it's two shades of blue, a lighter blue and a darker blue. And one of them is a DMC color, but I wasn't that crazy about it. You know, it's okay, but I didn't have the lighter color that goes the little contrasting color, or the darker color, I should say. I don't know. So it's these two. It's two shades of blue here. So what I chose was, I had it in my hand a minute ago. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this black raspberry jam, what's one of my favorite colors of Gentle Arts. I had it on this kitty because I had it left over from a kit that I had done, but that used this black raspberry jam. And I actually have another skein of it that I haven't used yet. But anyway, so I'm going to use this for one color in the scarf, and the other one is I'm going to use this gas crystal lake. So these two, and I think actually I'm going to do it the other way around from the picture. I don't know, maybe, but I'm going to do these two colors for his scarf. And then for the canopy and the tail of the plane and these carrot fronds, I'm going with Shutter Green. This here. This is a gas color also. The green that was called for on here was I had it here. Pine green. It was this color here, which I wasn't, it was okay, but I like the Shutter Green, this better. It's a little greener. And then, sticks and twigs are what is called for the struts of the plane, the struts and the propeller and that sort of thing on the plane up here. And I have a little bit of two skeins left. They're a little bit different shade. One's a little darker than the other, but because they're just two different dye lots, I guess. And I had them for I used them actually on those spring Hare etching and the winter cardinal etching, both called for sticks and twigs. But so this is left over from that. So that's what I'm using for the struts. And then for the tire, I think is the only place, the tire and the bunny's eye call for black. And I'm using Weeks Dyeworks Cold. And again, this is just all I had left from previous project. And then here, these clouds, they have a color, a thing here, and this was the white is farmhouse white, and the DMC equivalent that they listed was 3865, which is winter white, the DMC winter white. And I thought about using B5200 because that's my standby white, but I had chalk. So this is Gentle Arts color, and the contrasting color, this little gray, darker lines here, the DMC equivalent, it's Old Money it's a Classic Colorworks color, and I don't think I have that one. And the Weeks Dyeworks equivalent is Dove, and that's the color that I used here, that I chose. And it's sort of a lighter grayish color, so I think that'll work well within the clouds. So that's all my colors, and then I'm going to be stitching it on this fabric that I dyed myself. This is 28 count Lugana. So I'm going to put it on that. So I think it'll work out very well. And that's my Cross Stitch Camp July piece. Um, so when I was looking to do all these color conversion things for this pattern, I thought, well, I'm going to look at my DMC card to see exactly what those colors look like, and then I can choose something equivalent to for all to choose all those colors for the picture, to which ones I'm going to change, if I'm going to look for the actual equivalent or whatever, whether I'm going to use a DMC color or a fancy floss color. So anyway, I have one of those little cards, the DMC card that has, all the colors. I don't have the fancy one that has the actual samples of threads, but the one that has the photographs of the threads. But so I got that out, and I had it, stuck in some bag somewhere. So I went to get it, and in the spirit of my mother's saying of, when you clean, you find treasures. This was in that DMC folder. This is Snow Angel by Twin Peak Primitives. And it was a little freebie that, I don't know if they had it on their website or whatever one time that I went to buy something there. But it's 72 by 75. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I just found it. And yeah, so yeah, that was nice. That was a little bonus in that DMC card. So I think that is everything. I have a lot of things coming up in July, and like I said, we're still, trying to get the house. I think a real estate guy is supposed to come by this in the next few days. I guess after the weekend, Sunday or Monday or something, to take a look at the house and see approximately, what it's worth, some of what the room sizes and the features of the house and that sort of thing, which means I need to probably, do a little more proactively cleaning and boxing up and things like that, so the guy can, look around better. And yeah, so it's getting more serious now. But needing to get things put away and boxed up, and so that the house can be shown soon. And yeah, so that's going to be competing with my stitching time for cross stitch camp and WIPGO and all that stuff. But of course we need to take care of the house pretty quickly. So I've been kind of lazy about some of the stuff, but I did get started on boxing some things up more recently, and so yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be working on that soon, and yeah. So I hope to be able to continue to do my updates here. I don't know if I'm going to be end up doing some of them in my room or here or whatever, in this room. Just kind of depends on how things go as far as boxing things up goes. And I did have to sit down and sort of go through all my cross stitch stuff, because I was trying to decide, what do I need, because I don't know how long, we'll be sort of out of pocket about the house. So I don't know, like I can't say, oh, okay, I just need stuff for this month, and and then by next month we'll be settled. No, I don't know that. So so I was going through, I have all my project bags were in sort of in a pile, and I wanted to keep out the ones that have not been called yet for WIPGO, and then put away the ones that I've already worked on that have been called for WIPGO, and that I hit the goal, whatever. And so I just went ahead and pulled all the threads out of them. I kind of didn't want to because I thought, well, if I'm going to go back and stitch them, the threads are already there, blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, well, because of things coming up, I don't know how much of them are kitted up or not kitted up. Some of them, like this Aprile Dolce Dormir, did not have any threads in it. So I was looking for them, and some of them I think I didn't find because they're in a project somewhere, or whatever. So I've been I pulled all the threads out of the ones that are going to be put away, basically, and so I can do that, and then I'll just have my current ones going on here that I'll have to find somewhere to put where I can access them, right? And then of course I have to sort of box up all this craft stuff. Yeah. So I've made the first step in that I've made a list of things I need to do, and I've boxed up some things. Like on my bookcase out here, I had there were a bunch of little tchotchkes, and I did a box or two with a lot of that stuff, and but I have some left, and then I have, of course, all my books have to be boxed up. And the thing about books is that you can't just stick them all in a big box because the books weigh a ton, so they have to be in several smaller boxes. And I have basically 2 bookcases worth of stuff, and yeah. So, and that's not even counting all my music stuff, all kinds of things that I need to get, yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of work to do that I want to do as much as possible, as soon as possible, but, I'd rather be stitching because it's more fun. Anyway, so I will see you hopefully next week, next Saturday. And I meant to say one of the things that I had that I've seen lately that I hope to be able to participate in is Lindy Stitches announced that Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches, she announced recently the Midsummer, what is it called? It's Midsummer Stitch, something like that. Let me see if I've got the exact title here. Midsummer Stitch. So it's a virtual stitching event like the Jingle Ball. So Friday, July 19th at 6 p.m., and I'm assuming this is Eastern time, through Saturday night, midnight. And the tickets are $8 a piece. And again, it's a virtual event, so you don't have to go anywhere, travel anywhere, whatever. But you can sign up for that, and from the comfort of your own home, you can stitch. And it's I guess a no shopping event. So anyway, it says visit www.lindystitches.com for all the details. So yeah, so you can be part of that, and there's going to be some tutorials, I guess, and stuff like that. So anyway, it's just a heads up on that, and I'll try to put the website, the link in my description box below. So yeah, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to participate in that. It just depends on how things, well, probably whatever I'm working on, for that weekend in July, you know, I'll be able to work on whatever the status of the house is at that point. Anyway, so I will see you all next week, hopefully. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and welcome to my any new subscribers I have. Welcome back to my ongoing subscribers. And again, thanks for watching. Bye.